this video, I want to introduce a project that I've been working on that I'm pretty excited about. And what it is it's a Chrome extension that works as an interface between your ManageBac report cards page and OpenAI to send over student report details and then generate customized reports for every single student. So in this video, I first want to introduce it and we'll just do a very quick demo, show you how easy it is to use. And then we're going to take a lot more time going through this in detail. So when I'm on a report card page, I'm going to see this little icon show up. So I can click on it. It's going to say, hey, please give me your OpenAI API key. I'll hit submit. It'll log me in. And then I can just hit generate reports. It's going to pop up a couple of warnings that we're going to take a look at later in this video. But let's just see it go. So here's Marlon. He has an A+. These are all fake students, by the way. And he has a homework completion mark of E for excellent. So it says here that he's an outstanding student, consistently demonstrated excellent work, and his homework completion is exemplary. River over here with a C+ has been struggling. Sounds a little bit hard, a little bit harsh, let's say. And it says they've been satisfactory in terms of their homework completion. There's an S. And then over here, there's Patience, who's failing. And it says that her performance has been unsatisfactory and she's not been completing homework assignments on time. NI over here. Seems like for the most part, these are pretty accurate comments that were generated. And so if this does seem exciting and you want to try it out, I've just launched a closed beta. So you can find the link to the Google form in the sign up below this video. So please check it out. However, if you want to know like a little bit more about how this works and how and why I've been designing it the way I have, please stick around. I think this is really exciting new technology, but I think there's a lot of questions about how we use it ethically, responsibly, and effectively in context. And so really this closed beta that I'm going to launch is for people, whether you're a teacher, an administrator, or even just somebody curious about using AI in context. That's who I want to start a conversation with. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take a step backwards and step through all the little parts about this. In my mind, this is not a report generating platform. It does generate reports, but really what this extension does is it pieces together prompts based off of the student data that it has access to send to OpenAI to hopefully get a high quality response back. So when I try to generate reports the first time, it says, hey, please read what you're sending because, like this is confidential information. We don't want to just send it to OpenAI. So what it does is it opens up the student prompt section over here, and this shows me exactly what information I'm sending. Now I've put in some effort to pseudonymize the data that I'm sending. And so you'll notice it never says the student's name. It always says, write a report card for a student named Star. Once the data comes back to the browser, your browser is going to actually change that to the actual student's name. You'll also notice it says use they, their, them pronouns. First of all, from this website, like from this page that we're on, I can't know the student's gender. And second of all, that is some demographic data that maybe we're more or less comfortable sharing. You can change this if you like. And then also you'll notice that it never says the student's grade. Marlon was getting an A+, and what it says is emphasize that the student is doing excellent work. Here for River, who's getting a C+, it says, emphasize the student is at risk of failing. That seems like a little bit off. So let's look at why it's saying that. ManageBac has the ability to cover many different platforms. So I tried to write like a little algorithm that runs nicely for DP, and it does work fairly well for DP for kind of attaching sentiment to these different grades just of where they are in the scale. But for these IGCSE courses, it seems a little bit off. So you can see like C pluses are actually getting called at risk of failing. So rather than changing them all, I'm going to change the C plus to performing passively. And you can see it's changed the prompt to send over here. And I can actually edit this prompt like on an individual level. I can edit the sentiment if I like how it's constructing the prompt. It's a little bit faster. It's really up to you. And then also on the side, I have these checkboxes. So I could like uncheck failing, and that says, don't generate reports for these students because they're failing. And I should probably do that myself as a teacher. So if I go back down to student prompts, we'll see like, okay, well, River, it says emphasize that the student is performing passively. Great. And it also has unchecked patience and turned her orange, which means it's not going to send out the report for her. Um, so go back here, we'll uncheck this. The other setting it has here are the rubrics and options. And so this is, there could be 100 here, there could be one, there could be none, depending on your, setup and how you've configured your ManageBac instance. But basically it takes the rubrics, it takes their, ID over here, the rubric, it takes the description that you put in, and then it generates a prompt. So it says the student is needs improvement. Well, we can change that to the student needs improvement, and then that'll fix that for us. But also just a way that we can say, well, for each of these, please include this in the comment. Finally, under additional parameters, these are, general comments. You can delete the stock ones that are in here. You can change it to say, like, for every student, I want you to do A, B, C, and D. So maybe, because this is an English class, we'll say, please recommend a novel that the student can read over the summer, you know. And then what that's going to do over here is it will actually add that to each of these prompts. So like if we go down here, you can see, please recommend a novel, please recommend a novel. So the idea was, yes, we can edit it on an individual basis, but like so over here for class information, this is our last section. Normally at schools that I've worked at, when we're writing report cards, we'll start with a generic comment for the class and say like, in this class, we did this. So I thought, well, why don't we build that, functionality also into here? So let's say in this class, this fictional class, we read The Washing Machine Tragedy by Stanislaw Lem. You know, you can copy in whatever you want. You can put in full sentences, you can put in general ideas here. And what it's going to do is it's going to send that off and it'll come back with a blurb about, well, what did you do in this course? And so there we go. It says like the students studied the washing machine tragedy. Um, and then also in the student prompts, it says, be sure to talk about the following material covered by the class. So this will also be added to the comments. So I'm going to click generate reports. And we see we get another warning here that we skipped over last time. What this warning says is it says that these comments are generated by a machine. It is your responsibility as a teacher to check them. So actually the way ManageBac works is it doesn't save these comments automatically. Um, until a teacher, once this is finished, we'll look at it. But until a teacher actually clicks on this box and like actually interacts with this comment, it won't save it. And we'll look at exactly what I mean. But first, let's look at what these comments say. So here we can see like Marlon is outstanding. He's done a great job, including in this book, The Washing Machine Tragedy. And he should read The Catcher in the Rye. Over here, River has been performing satisfactorily. Remember, we changed that. Um, and it says, she's shown a good understanding of the washing machine tragedy. And then finally, Ruth, it's saying that she failed, or she hasn't been performing well, at least. She's been doing particularly poor in our understanding of this book, and she should read The Catcher in the Rye. I've tried this a few times, and it always seems to suggest The Catcher in the Rye is the book. But anyways, so as I was saying, these comments don't save automatically. But if I click over here on this box, and then I click outside of the box, you'll see like ManageBac has said saved. So now when I refresh this page, it's going to say this has been perpetuated. So hopefully like that's at least enough of a safeguard also so that you know that any comments generated by this teachers have reviewed in some way, you know. But you'll see that the other ones didn't save because we didn't click on them. So they're gone. We can easily generate them again, but that's an important little safety mechanism to be aware of. So, anyways, thank you for staying until the end. I hope that means you were interested. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to discuss with this, but if you want to try it, the best way is for you to sign up for this closed beta. I hope it won't last too long and we can, release this publicly pretty soon. But for now, I think it's an interesting and exciting enough technology that it's worth some, critical thinking by some top minds who are interested in this topic, which I'm hoping is you. So please, sign up and let's start a discussion around this. So thank you for watching, and I hope I hear from you soon.